Och för att riktigt sätta scenen för den här dagen så kommer vi att börja prata om just förändring, digitalisering. Hur ska vi göra för att riktigt använda det på bästa sätt? Vi ska sätta en plattform. So now I will switch into English because our first presenter here today, he's a top global speaker. He's a visionary. He is a consultant in change, in innovation, in disruptive market strategies. He works with companies all over the world. And now he will talk about volcano economics. Volcano economics. He will teach you and guide you in how to become a true champion in what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dietmar Dahmen.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world. It's absolutely true. And you're all here outside. It's cold, but you're all here because you're burning for something. You're burning for change, and you're burning for a new, better world to be. And having a fire is really, really important. Everything is made out of fire. Our entire planet is made out of fire. When basically the things bumped into Earth and it was all just fires and volcanoes, and you are made out of fire, especially if your parents were really, really hot lovers and loved each other really, really well, then you are made out of fire. And your business obviously is made out of fire. Everything is made out of fire because the people burn for certain ideas. And the business that you were working with was founded, or you founded it with a big torch, and you were running ahead, and you gave the people a light that they can follow. You said, this is my idea. Everybody who wants to be with this idea should just follow me. And I think that's very, very important. You're burning for your idea. And then at one point, more and more people come, and then the problem is that sometimes the fire is going away. If you look at big companies that changed the world, like automobile driving or flight and stuff like that, it was founded by people who totally burned for the idea. I'm from Vienna. And in Vienna, there's a big castle. And in the castle, there's a pathway, and it's for the couriers. So that basically 200 years ago, the couriers could ride the horses to the king and say, boom, here's a new letter for you. That means the daredevils were postmen. Postmen were the people that rode the horses until they died, and they said, I want to have a really exciting job. I want to go to the post, and I want to deliver letters. And they were burning for this idea. And then the post got bigger and bigger and bigger, and older and older and older, and now the postmen, in Austria at least, are not really radical people anymore. And that might happen to companies. It might happen that you have the fire when you found the company, but then people join your company because they're not looking for fire anymore, but they're looking for safety. And when they're looking for safety, the fire goes out and you need to run in the dark. And when you run in the dark, it's bad. Because without fire, you are invisible. You're invisible to your customers. You're not burning for your idea. You're invisible for your colleagues. Nobody knows where you should go. And you're invisible to yourself. What is the ideal? Where am I going? What am I fighting for? So the 40 minutes of today is basically to bring this fire back, because if you lost the fire, you lost everything. So let's bring the fire back and talk about fire in business. A very, very good source of fire in business is a volcano. So we will talk about volcano economics. It's a word, it's an abbreviation, and each letter stands for something. The first letter, V, stands for volatile. You all know that the world is completely volatile. Volatile is outside of you. You can be very static, and you can be super static and do nothing, but then all of a sudden a volcano explodes. And if you're living in Pompeii, you can't stop that volcano. The volcano is coming, and you can't put something up against it and say, don't hit me, don't hit my business, please go away. It will come. The best way is to adapt to this volcano, like they did in Iceland. And they say, okay, we have all this volcanic power, why don't we use it to heat our roads and have endless energy? The power of the volcano is outside of you, and it affects your business. And normally it's external, and you can't do anything. And the changes are very, very rapid. One day there's no volcano, boom, then it erupts, and then there's a volcano. And we see those changes everywhere. Currently, Trump was thinking about raising the tax for the import tax for steel and aluminum. Today he said maybe not. You know, it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. It's some guy in the US who's maybe affecting your business. And that's happening with everything, right? The prices are volatile. If you invested in Bitcoin, depending on what point you invested in, it was either great or bad. Same with the regular stock market. It was either great or bad, right? Security is even volatile. You might know the capture thing where you have to write something and they say, are you a robot or are you human, and then they write it in funny letters and say only humans can decide what's written there. That's not true anymore. Artificial intelligence is better than CAPTCHA, right? So artificial intelligence just looks at the dodge of each thing and then says that's an A. So artificial intelligence correct CAPTCHA. Trust is volatile. It used to be that just made in Sweden was enough and everybody trusted you. And now they say, well, everybody can put a sticker on a good. And you want better trust. Now everybody believes in blockchain. Diamond industry is obsessed with blockchain. Food industry is obsessed with blockchain as a new means of trust. And then now hackers can hack into blockchain and hack into cryptocurrency. So what's the new level of trust? And everybody says quantum computing will be a new level of trust and nothing can happen there. And there's always new things that are happening outside of you. You don't do the artificial intelligence to capture. You don't come up with the idea of blockchain, but you can use those things. So the thing is that in a volatile world, you need to adapt to the changing world from the outside. The outside is changing and you need to adapt. So the question is there anything solid in a volatile world? And the answer is obviously yes, there is. Flexibility. You need to be flexible. Only if you're flexible, it's a really, really good thing. Flexibility is the only solid thing in a volatile world. You have flexible ownership currently. It used to be that you bought things. You bought a car, and then you had it for 10 years, and then you were leasing it for 3 years, and now you're just sharing it. I use car sharing for 5 minutes, right? So the ownership is flexible. It's much better. So ownership is a flexible thing. You have to think about everything you do. How can I make it more flexible? How can I make ownership of the products that I sell more flexible and maybe lease them? Yesterday I was in Spain. For an aluminum company, and they build big things like cars and engines and things like that, and they are thinking about renting out aluminum. They say, why do we actually sell it to the people? We can rent it out, track them in the blockchain, later recycle it, and then sell it to them again. Humongous shift in business, right? Work obviously is flexible. It used to be that you work from 8 or 9 to 5, and now you can have to work every day. Your opening hours have to be flexible. If the bank is closed, it's no good, right? Or if your store is closed, it's no good. Your service has to be flexible. Some people want it this way, the other people want it another way. And finally, obviously, your products have to be flexible. If you look at individualization of products, 3D printing, all those kinds of things, it's a huge market. I don't know if you're familiar with the Speed Factory that Adidas is doing right now. Speed Factory is basically individualized sports shoes made for your foot. You design the product, completely flexible. And in 2018, they want to produce 100,000 shoes, 3D printed. In 2019, they want to produce already 10 million. So the scale is not a growth like this, the scale is exponential. And they basically say Speed Factory individualized products is the only thing that we can adapt to an ever faster changing world. That's flexibility, okay? There's a little case study. This is for you, Joeka. And the case study, there's a lot of women here. It's cosmetics, right? I know men use cosmetics also, but this is a female product. It's Coty. You might know Coty. Coty is a very established company from France. Those are all the brands that Coty own. Right? Tons and tons of well-known brands, Vela, Nautica, all those kind of things, that's Coty, right? And that's unique, and unique is basically just itself. Coty is very, very old, very established, founded in 1904. Unique was just founded a couple of years ago in 2012. Coty has own factories, so they basically have their own research and development, and then they produce the product in their own factories. Unique has only contracted manufacturers, super flexible. They don't own anything. They basically ask, this is the product, who can build it, right? Coty has fixed staff, and they're proud of the staff that they hire, and there's people that say, well, I've been with Coty for 35 years. Unique, obviously, staff on demand. Nobody is fixed. There's like 5 people that run the show. The rest is just stuff on demand. Coty sells in retail. Unique only sells P2P platform, and they have virtual parties. That's where they sell. Basically online. Who booms? Obviously, Unique booms, right? Unique is booming, and that's why Coty bought Unique. And Coty bought Unique for tons of money, not because of their product, but because of their way of thinking, because their way of flexibility. And Coty was saying, are the competitive advantages of today still the advantages of tomorrow? Is it really good to own factories? Is it really good to sell in regular retail? Is it really good to have fixed staff? And they said, maybe today it's good, but tomorrow it's no good. There's a trend everywhere. You do a lot of stuff for banks. It used to be a big advantage to have a branch on every corner. So you can go to the bank all the time. Now it's a burden. And they say, shit, we have too many branches. What shall we do with them? The advantages of today might not be advantages of tomorrow, not because you change, but because of the volatile world outside. I think that's easy to understand. So the killer insights for volatile, your market is volatile. Your customer is volatile. They want different things all the time. Your success is volatile, and the best and only weapon is to be flexible. You have to increase your flexibility. 2, and you can do that with many touch points. Don't bank on one touch point, be everywhere. We'll come to those things in a minute, right? You can do that on the ways how I can order things. It has to be online, it has to be on the phone, it has to be voice, it has to be maybe in the car, it has to be a touch button, all those kinds of things, right? Not one way to order, but many ways to order, ideally always to order, and many ways to deliver. A lot of people, I was just at a conference in Germany about delivery, and they say a lot of people have basically 1 or 2 people that deliver their goods. If you look at Zalando, they have tons of different things. You know, Hermes, Carissimo, Calaritas, UPS, The Post, FedEx, PostNord, all kinds of things, because they say we have to be flexible and adapt to the market. I hope you understand this. This was flexibility. Volcano? Good. Next point, obscure. The world is totally obscure. We're walking like Little Red Riding Hood through the wood, and we don't know what is a good way. Where should we go? Shall we go there, or shall we go there? What shall we do, right? And who might attack you? Because the world is dangerous, especially in the wood. So who is attacking you? Let's look at the car industry, right? It's the car industry. Who attacks the car industry? Is the car industry attacked by another car company? Not anymore. That is the old way of thinking. The car companies are now attacked by someone unseen before, this guy in the back. And this guy in the back is all of a sudden attacking the entire car industry. In this particular case, drones are attacking the car industry. Nobody thought about that. And even if you look at hyperlink is attacking the car industry. All kinds of things are attacking the car industry. And very often they don't attack the entire industry also. If you think that business is a fight like boxing, the boxers don't go boom, boom. They basically go kidney, eye, chin, doof, and knock you out. It's just parts that they attack. So the car industry is being attacked. The engine is being attacked. It used to be combustion, and now it's electric. The driver is being attacked. It used to be human, and now it might be a machine, autonomous driving. The access is being attacked. It used to be ownership, and now you have Uber or sharing. And those are different experts that attack different aspects of your business. And those things can destroy the entire business. If you're just hit on the chin and not on your entire body, if somebody just optimizes access, boom, you're knocked out. It's a very, very important point. I was giving a talk for pharmaceutical industry recently, and the pharmaceutical says, we have a perfect pill, a perfect product. But our competitor simply links the product to the fitness band and measures your heart rate. And then he says, you should take so and so many drops. And they say the product is inferior, but it sells like crazy because it's more connected to a fitness tracker. How can we lose to a fitness tracker? And I say, yeah, because the world is obscure. You lose to things like that. Snapchat attacks TV. How crazy is that, right? And digital attacks everything. I was recently in Malmö, and there's those ticket machines, and you are the maker of that ticket machine. And you say, I can make ticket machines really, really good. And all of a sudden, nobody uses tickets anymore. Everybody pays with a mobile phone, or as you will see in a minute, you know it's a Swedish case, pays with a chip that's implanted under the skin. What do you do if you're a ticket machine maker? You go, what? A chip implanted under the skin is destroying my business? How weird is that? I was talking to Bosch Siemens Haushaltsprodukte, which is basically the company that makes refrigerators. Who are they afraid of? The refrigerators are afraid of Amazon Fresh. Because they say, if you live in an urban environment and you can have any yogurt in the world delivered to your house within 10 to 15 minutes, why should I own a fridge? Or how big should it be? They're afraid of Amazon Fresh. They say basically a delivery service could destroy the business of refrigerators, just as Spotify destroyed the business of record players makers. Humongous, humongous change. So disruption is happening and you have to fight disruption. What is disruption? Disruption normally attacks a basic need. The need for a yogurt or the need to listen to music, right? Blockchain attacks the need for official documents. We want to believe in something, we want to have a proof, boom, made in Sweden, official document, you own this house, poof, poof, official document, this is really organic food, poof, poof, official document, and blockchain attacks that and says, no, don't trust that, trust us. I don't know, I do a lot of cars. Again, with cars, if you buy a used car, how do you know how many kilometers it already has on the clock? Some people trust the clock, not everybody. There was actually a person who imported his car from, I think, Germany to Finland, and it arrived with 50,000 kilometers on the clock. And they said, but that's not my car has 110. And then they said, oh, that's just a free service we do anyway. So they changed the clock. So now people try to start blockchain. Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies attack dumb contracts. With Ethereum, which is basically like Bitcoin and stuff like that, but a different product, you have smart contracts embedded in the product. And I find that very, very good. I especially personally really like the you pay the person this amount of money if this and that happens function. Normally, if you go to a bank, if you buy a shirt, you can only fill out a slip and says, now pay this person so and so much money. With Ethereum, you can say, pay the person so and so much money if this happens. My son is a teenager, and he buys things from this new streetwear, things like Supreme and Palace. I don't know if you know those brands. They have certain products, and then they do a drop. And they say, on Thursday at 10 o'clock, we will sell 10 T-shirts like this. Woof. So he uses Ethereum and he says, okay, and some people might get the T-shirts and some people are too late and they don't get the T-shirt. So he says, okay, Ethereum, if I get the T-shirt, then you pay them. If I don't get the T-shirt, you don't pay them. It's a fantastically new way of paying things, the what-if function that is in a smart contract like blockchain-based payments. Amazon Dash, what does Amazon Dash attack? In my point of view, it attacks the customer journey. So does things like instant shopping. It attacks the customer journey where you see something and you immediately buy it. Or curated shopping where basically have some person pick shirts for you. Or voice shopping, the old customer journey where you have inspiration, followed by information, what is it about, followed by selection, followed by purchase, followed by usage, followed by evaluation. All those kind of things are totally being disrupted if you just push a button. Or if you just say, Alexa, get me detergent. And then the algorithm decides what kind of detergent. Or the coffee machine reorders the coffee immediately itself. The coffee machine notices, oh, we are running out of coffee, and then the coffee machine reorders. There's zero customer journey anymore. And who is your customer? Is the customer then the human, the algorithm, or the machine? It's a completely new change. It's very obscure. You don't even know who your customer is anymore, and you don't know what their customer journey is. So the killer insights of obscure is your future is obscure. You don't know who's going to attack you. It might be somebody completely weird. So if you're making fridges, it might be a drone service. If you're making machines, it might be a chip under the skin, right? Everything is under attack. It's from weird things, even fundamental things. So reevaluate constantly, because that is happening all the time. The next letter, liquid. Liquid is very important. We all know the 3 F's of business, and the 3 F's in business are faster, faster, faster. That's very, very important. You have to be faster. It's a fight, right? It's like a duel, and the slow ones die, and the fast survive. That is very, very true even with your emails or your information. The faster one is an offer. A friend of mine plays golf, and we were at a golf course, and he plays golf, and then he gets his message on his phone at the golf course, and the message on the phone says, "Would you like to buy golf balls? Just click here." And he says, "Oh, that's really neat. I'd like to buy some," and he clicked. Why was that smart? A, it was geolocation, so it was situational advertising. He didn't get it in the sauna. If he gets an ad for golf balls in the sauna, he says, "Why should I buy golf balls in the sauna?" Makes no sense. But if you're at the golf course, it makes sense. So he bought the golf course on his phone. Boom. Then the person at the golf course said, "Would you like to get some golf balls?" And he says, "No, I just bought them. You're annoying me with your idiotic offer." The first one is an interesting offer. The second one is spam. So if you can achieve to get the offer there before the person even buys, once knows about buying something, you are a very, very interesting offer. And all the other offers after that are spam. Don't annoy me with the idiotic golf balls. I just bought them. Stop spamming me. Very, very important thing. Who is the fastest? Who has the fastest gun in the world? Obviously machines. Machines are faster than humans, right? There was a concert recently. It was sold out, 42,000 tickets in 1.47 seconds. Who bought that? Machines. It's not like billions of teenagers pushing the same button. It's robo-shopping. The machines are doing it, and then they're selling it on the black market for more money, and now we have to fight those kind of things. And they used capture, but now artificial intelligence can read capture. Very, very different world, right? Speed is more important than cost. If you look again at Amazon shopping, right? What is the most important thing if you want to buy a drill? The most important thing is that you have it here within a day or two, or not 8 weeks. And then the second most important thing is how many stars does it have? How good is the quality? And the third most important thing is price. If you have an electric drill that's been delivered in 8 weeks and has 2 stars or 1 star, you can give it away for free. Nobody wants that. I want a 4 or 5 star drill, and I want it today, tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. In Berlin, it's it's all the time within the day, right? So speed is very, very important. My time frame of speed, I measure everything in life with beer. So if you can order a beer on Alexa in an urban environment and it's with you in 30 minutes, great. That's the time it normally takes to deliver a pizza. If you live, we used to live in Los Angeles, and there was a 7-Eleven. If you live close to 7-Eleven, it's 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, the 7-Eleven will get a drone to you. If you live up close to an Amazon station pickup center, it's 2 minutes because you can scan it. They put it in the box. It takes about 2 minutes for the product to be in the box. Poop, you scan the thing, the box open, and you can take it home. In Germany, the beer takes 3 seconds. So this is 21, 22, 23, boom, 21, 23, 20. So 3 seconds. In Switzerland, it takes no time, because they make the beer before time. How does that work? I basically order the beer on my mobile phone, and then I share my geolocation, and I say when I'm close to you, either close to your restaurant driving into the parking lot, or when I'm skiing, when I'm close to you and I'm almost where your hut is, start tapping the beer, and then the person starts tapping the beer, hands me the beer, and I have it. So it takes time to make the beer, but they start before I actually arrive. So before time is the best way to deliver a product on time. And before time is really, really big. This is data from Unilever, and you can see 66% of all food trips are restocking. You buy the same stuff over and over and over again. And 50% of non-food is restocking because you buy again the same pizza and the same diapers and the same toothpaste and the same things, right? You can actually do those things. And if you have a business system where you automatically resend products like Shaving Club or Diaper Club, Sock Club, all those things, you totally disrupt everybody else. If I already have a contract with you for the Shaver Club, all the other Shaver information is spam because you were there before. And before can save lives. This is an example from a car. It peeps before it automatically brakes and straightens the belt. Peep, boom. So the car noticed that there's going to be an accident before the accident happened. And then it broke down and slowed down and everything was fine. Before time, really, really good. The most important thing for this conference, obviously, is C, connectivity. Connectivity really, really, really rules, right? Content is king. It's very important what you say, but connectivity is King Kong. Connectivity is totally, totally everything. Connectivity means that you're not alone, and loneliness sucks. Loneliness is not really good. That's even what the people in the old times were thinking about. They lived in a cave and they didn't like it, and they say, hey, let's get a bunch of people together and let's build a city, and that's much, much better. And then we have connectivity, and that's awesome. And that connectivity that was actually happening in cities basically created progress. There's a famous saying that says progress is not how smart you are, but how connected you are. Because if you're well connected, people teach each other certain things, right? The fisherman meets a hunter, and the hunter tells the fisherman how to hunt, and the fisherman tells the hunter how to fish, and then they both know everything, right? If you're just smart, it's no good. Even if you take kids of 2 Nobel Prize winners, right? Super smart people, and you lock them in a room for 5 generations, after 150 years, you have inbred idiots. And they say, well, my great-great-great-grandfather was a Nobel Prize winner. It's no good, right? You have to connect to the world. If you have connectivity, you can share knowledge, you can increase innovation, and obviously you can increase money, and that gives you power. That's why the old cities or today's cities like New York, we just heard about New York and the meeting. Why? Because people from all over the world come and connect at those meetings, right? And Alexandria had power, and Egypt had power, and Rome and stuff like that. So the power was in the city. But the biggest power today is not in the city. The biggest power today are in platforms. So let's look at what platforms are and compare them to cities, right? Cities and platforms are relatively similar because that's where you can combine, where you can connect knowledge and expertise and trade and money, right? Cities, however, have limited growth. At one point, that's the end of the city. A platform has unlimited growth. It can go even beyond the planet. If Elon Musk is opening his station on Mars, there might be Facebook and Amazon. So the platform can even jump planets, right? Cities are regional, platforms are global. We just heard about Alibaba and stuff like that, right? People from China coming, Amazon, American, right? Cities have a physical exchange. Actually go to a physical store and normally buy a physical product. Platforms have virtual exchange. You can send money much faster. You can send goods much faster. Then they have to arrive at one point, but still you can exchange. The exchange is done much, much sooner. Cities have central control. Platforms are self-controlled. The people of Amazon, if you're a store, you basically decide what you put on the store in Amazon or what you post. And cities therefore have a job economy, which basically means that you are a cobbler and you get paid. And platforms have a gig economy, which means you only get paid when you sell a certain product. Without that, there's no employees basically on platforms. They're all business people, right? And if you look at those things and compare cities to platforms, you see that platforms are more open than cities. They are also bigger than cities. They are faster than cities. They are more democratic than cities. And they're more flexible than cities. That basically means that platforms win 5 out of 5 points. Platforms are better than cities, right? That's why 50% of the large enterprises either create or join a platform. And 80% of enterprises with advanced digital strategies do that. Being on a platform is totally crucial. And what is the final goal of any platform? The final goal of any platform is total domination. They want to rule the city. They want to be on the platform and they want to rule the globe and say, boom, whoo. That's what they want to do, and they do that with total data control, knowing everything about everybody, what everybody does. The change is dramatic. The platform even becomes the search engine. The percentage of people looking for products on your website is 21%, at least in the US. On Google, it's 34%. On Amazon, it's 44%. Amazon is the search engine for products. If you're looking for a blow dryer, you don't Google blow dryer. You go to Amazon and Amazon blow dryer. That is a humongous change. You all have probably search optimization for Google, but you have search optimization for Amazon? Probably, at least I hope. It's a very, very vital thing. And how can you win in this economy, right? How can you win in this, where Amazon totally dominates because Amazon has the platform and the knowledge and the power? If you look at the uniqueness of products and the quality of products, they're obviously four-quadrant, right? Not so unique, normal quality is a very basic product, right? A little bit better is brands, a little bit better is service, and the best, obviously, if you have the highest uniqueness and the highest quality, is experience. And all the other things are not good. Experience is the only thing where you can win against places like Amazon. If you want to be cheaper, you can't be. Amazon is dirt cheap. You will find a cheap product on Amazon. It's not a good, or Alibaba, it's not a good position to be in. If you have more choice, no good. How can you have more choice than Amazon or Alibaba? They have everything. If you want to have more service, faster delivery, how can you do that? They deliver with drones and have their own services, right? The only place where you can kill them is experience, because their experience is limited. Amazon, to me, is very much like an American city center where you have a financial district. So when the day is busy, everybody is there, but then at night or on the weekend, it's dead. There's no cafes, there's no clubs, they're all happening somewhere else. The American city center financial district normally is dead at night because it lacks experience. A European city center is full at night because it has experience. Experience is the thing. Where can you create experience? Again, at every touch points. You have tons of touch points for your products, and you can create an experience on any of those touch points. Even the packaging can be awesome. Every single thing can be totally awesome and create an experience. And what is the benchmark for experience? What is a good level of experience? This. So your customers have to go to your store or your website and go, oh, all the time. That's a good level. Make a customer, not a sale, is a good saying, but I would even say make a fan. Create a fan out of your customer, not just a customer. Create somebody who says, oh, all the time. If you have a fan, it's a really, really good thing, because fans love you. And if you're a soccer fan, of course the result is important, but the experience is way more important. Of course, it's great if your club wins, but still the experience of being there in the stadium is what you basically sell. So try to make a fan. Try to treat a customer as a fan. A mail from a customer is fan mail. Yay, they're writing me. Still, you need a platform to roll out. And if it's not on the platform in today's world, basically a product that's not on Amazon doesn't exist, right? And it's also the same with things on phones. I'll explain it to you in a minute. I would say if something is not on your phone, it doesn't exist. A bus that is not on your phone does not exist. I used to live in a country. On the country, the bus came every 2.5 hours. It should be there at 10 o'clock. It's already 5 past 10, 7 past 10, 12 past 10. If it's 12 past 10, you know the bus will never come. You will die. You need to build a hut, kill animals, drink their blood. My son takes also a bus to school. That's the bus exists on his phone. He says, there's the bus. It's there at 7:54. If I ask my son, where's the bus? He says, there. Here's the bus. And he shows the bus on his mobile phone. There's also a real bus outside, but the bus exists on his phone. This is my son. He went out like this. I said, hey, Jasper, it's raining. He said, well, not for long. So weather exists on the phone, right? We trust the phone more like any salesman. 80% of us rely on the smartphone before a salesman. The salesman says that's the best desk you can get, and I say no, it only has 2 stars. Who do you believe? You believe the phone, right? It's used to be done by apps, and now it's done by things like robots, right? Artificial intelligence affects everything. There's a new thing by eBay where they change the way that you can find products. It's called product-based suggestions. It used to be that you look for an iPhone, and then eBay just gave you 2,000 iPhones. These are all the iPhones. What they do now with artificial intelligence, they say, this is the best new iPhone, this is the best refurbished iPhone, this is the best one that's used, and that's the best alternative. And it's an artificial intelligence that scans through all the products and gives you choices so that you can decide based on artificial intelligence. Humongous change. You have now picture. That's a little bit loud. That was a chatbot based on pictures. You take a photo of the shirt, and then basically the robot looks for similar shirts, and this is now a voice-driven one. Where's that?
Find me a Canon camera with a zoom lens.
Find me a Canon camera with a zoom lens. And now the machine starts to find Canon cameras with zoom lenses and stuff. Humongous difference, right? It's also artificial intelligence. So those are the things now. Why is voice important? 30% of internet access will be done without a screen in the next 2 years. Very, very big, right? Amazon and all those things are completely ruling the world. Let me just jump through this. We don't have time for that. Here we are. Where's the business-to-consumer connectivity level today? I think this is a good example.
What if you didn't need walls, floors, or escalators to have an amazing shopping experience? And what if you could get really close to the things you love, to really check them out? And what if you could enter a department store that's just for you? One that has learned about you, adapted to what you like to shop for, and in time, it's personalized its product selections just for you. Well, the future is now. Welcome to the world's first virtual reality department store, brought to you by eBay and Maya. We've created a brand new technology called Site Search to help you navigate around the experience. Just using your eyes, you can browse, sort, and purchase items. As you do, the VR department store will learn, adapt, and personalize what it shows you, saving you...
So it's a personalized virtual experience. Where will B2C connectivity be in the future? It already translates everything to English.
Gracias.
There's tons of overlay information. You can rate everything. It's all done in virtual reality. Offers, experiences, pop up. In a store, you can have basically collect bonus points. Everything is gamified. I saw outside a gamified vacuum cleaner. Those things are happening for real right now. Where will it end for now? Obviously with Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, with Neuralink and stuff like that, where they connect the brain immediately to the internet. Last 2 things. A is ambiguous. Ambiguous means we don't know what a thing is for. A very easy thing, if you have a deck of cards, what can you do with a deck of cards? You can do all kinds of things. You can play cards, you can make card houses, you can throw cards against the wall, you can predict the future, you can do everything, right? But those are all great ideas. But if the problem is that your chair is wobbly, you need to put the deck of cards below the leg of the chair. And that basically means that a solution needs a problem. If you basically say, I have a great deck of cards, and you can build a house, and you can play cards, and you can open doors with it like this, clack, 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 clack. But my problem is a wobbly chair. None of your ideas are relevant for me. So you have to find what is the problem that your customer has, right? And the problem needs to be identified. There's a big saying by Theodore Levitt, you might know, people don't want a drill, people want a hole in the wall. And I would even say people don't want a hole in the wall, people want a picture on the wall. Why should I want a hole in my wall if I want a picture on my wall? And maybe a beamer is a much better solution. than to drill a hole, right? So you always have to think, what is my intent? What is my original problem? You don't own a solution, is what Americans say. You own a problem. So basically, you want to transport some person from place A to place B. That is the problem that remains. And the solution 200 years ago was a horse carriage. And then the solution 50 years ago was a taxi. And now the solution is Uber. Alexa, get me an Uber. The problem remains, but the solutions change. That is very, very vital. But we sometimes think, why should we change? Why should I change? I have a perfect business. I am the winning horse. But let's look for a real short time why the horse is winning. Of course, the horse is strong. It has tons of power. That's your business. And on top of the horse is a smart person. That's you. And you're steering the horse, right? And together you're one team. And if the jockey goes like this, the horse goes like that. And it's awesome. But it's not a winning horse. In order to be winning, you need to compete. And you compete in the outside world, in the green stuff around the horse. And that world is volatile and changing all the time. If I throw the horse in the ocean, it's no good anymore. It's no good anymore. All of a sudden, dolphins win. And then the person says, why do dolphins win? Horse, do you do something different? No, I do exactly the same. Jockey, do you something different? No, I do the same. That's the problem. You can't do the same in a new environment. The dolphins are mammals. They were like us, and they totally adapted. They reorganized the entire inner structure. Now marketing is in front of research and development. And they changed everything. They rearranged the entire outer structure. The long arms are no good anymore. They now have short flippers. That's much, much better. They changed completely. And because they rearranged themselves and adapted to a liquid environment, they are now the new winners. And if you have new winners, you also have new losers. And normally it's really brutal. You don't just lose a little bit. If people move into a new technology, it normally goes all the way. Again, an example of the car industry, a lot of people say, well, it's going to be a hybrid car where some people use fossil engines and others use recyclables like electricity or hydrogen or something like that. It will not be a hybrid. At one point, it will be 99% or whatever, electricity or gas or something, and then 1%. So the market normally always changes. Some people still listen to records, but it's a niche market. The regular thing is Spotify or streaming services. Some people still read books, but it's those things are niche markets, right? And then you say, why new? And what is even new? I used to work in advertising. I need 3 more minutes, right? And in advertising, we used to have products like this. And you say, that's not really new. We want to make it better. We want to make it more powerful. And then you get the best designers, and they show the world where the level of dishwashing detergent is, and they say, you know where dishwashing detergent is. That's where it is. That's the future. And you show it to them, and they do they recognize my brand? Yes, we do. But it's much better, isn't it? Yeah, it's much, much better. And then you ask the product people, how good do we do? And the product people say the market was saturated, nothing moved. And then the new product came, and boom, plus 2%. And you say, what, plus 2%? Champagne, Dubai party, right? Until somebody buys a designer kitchen, puts the product into the kitchen and throws up and says, that's the shittiest product I've ever seen. It's disgusting. €2.50 are destroying 100,000 euros in a second. It's an ugly product. Take it away from me. And then this person doesn't say, why? Why is it so ugly? Why is it destroying my kitchen? Basically, this person says, why not? Why not? Why don't I design a designer detergent for designer kitchens? Does it? This comes up with methods. Sells 75 million in 2008 and has 3,400% growth in the next 3 years. The question of why is the 2% question. It improves the existing details. If you look at communication and you want to improve a telephone, you take it apart and find certain things and make those things 2% lighter or better or smarter or faster, and then you move from this phone to that phone. And that's true. But you will never do the jump. Relentless improvement yield our market share of existing markets. You improve a phone. If you're a car company and you improve the combustion engine, it's still a combustion engine. Only the car uses 2% less gasoline or whatever. You will never do the leap to the new technology. Only why not can do that leap. Only the question of why not is 3,400%. Only why not can do that because it attacks the existing. Why not attacks the existing and looks at the big picture? And the big picture of a telephone is not some detail that you can improve by 2%. The big picture of a telephone is communication. And then you say, oh, communication. Why not have communication everywhere? And you come up with this mobile phone. Why not all kinds of communication? And you can come up with a smartphone. And why should I use actually a phone? Why can't my fridge reorder the yogurt automatically? Why not everything? The Internet of Things is basically a telephone because it's communication. Why kills the flow? If my wife says to me, let's go to Paris, and I say, why? The flow is killed. The flow is killed immediately, at least for half a day, right? Why not stimulates the flow? Let's go to Paris. Yeah, why not smoke some dope in Paris, leave the kids at home, have sex all day, fantastic. She says, oh, you're so great. Yeah, I know. So it's basically why not, right? Why not stimulates the flow, and why not makes champions? Last 2 minutes of the killer insights. Watch what new tech will do. It's ambiguous. You don't know what will happen with voice, with virtual reality, with artificial intelligence. Don't ask why you should change. Ask yourself why you shouldn't change. Why not? Last 2 minutes, no. Saying no is our heritage as humans. Saying no is our heritage as humans because it gave us progress. The Stone Age did not end from a lack of stones. There were stones like crazy. The Stone Age ended because somebody said no to the stone. Fuck that stone. I don't want a stone anymore. You bring me one stone, I kill you with my iron axe. That's why the Stone Age ended, right? Saying no to the candle brought us the light bulb. Saying no to the horse carriage brought us the car. Saying no, and what is a car? Basically, it's again, the basic need of disruption stays. Transportation stays. A car is a horse with no horse. Email is a mail with no mail. Amazon, the old one, is a store with no store. Netflix is a TV with no TV. Airbnb, hotel with no hotel. Fintech, a bank with no bank. And that is because the people thought we should think not about what it is, but what it does. If you think craft-driven and you come up with a light bulb and you are a candle maker and the light bulb comes and you think, oh my God, the only thing I can do is candles, then you kill yourself. If you think mission-driven, my mission is to bring light, and now the light bulb comes, you are happy. You say, I can bring light to places that the candle didn't work, in a glove compartment of a car, in a little Märklin train and stuff like that. Don't ask yourself what it is. Don't ask yourself what it does. If you think in your head, I need to develop a chair, what it is, you have certain images. If I say develop something you can sit on, much bigger. In some offices, they have those big, round, bouncy balls they sit on. That's not a chair, but it's something you can sit on. What is Samsonite? You all traveled here. What is Samsonite? It's a suitcase. What does Samsonite do? It makes sure that I can pack my suitcase in Vienna and then I can unpack it in Gothenburg and everything is good, right? It transports stuff safely. So does Dropbox. Why did they not invent Dropbox, right? Dropbox is now $10 billion. Samsonite was, when Dropbox was founded, $1.3 billion in debt. That's not a good thing. Think about what your core is and move it to the new times, right? The killer insight. If you want to say yes to the future, you have to say no to the past. That's exactly what my uncle said. He used to look like this, and he said to me, you got to move on, man. And then he did. Now he looks like that. Thank you very much. It was awesome talking to you.